Once upon a time, there was an old man, so old, in fact, that his eyes had grew dim, his ears were hard of hearing, and his knees trembled. Oftentimes, when he would attempt to feed himself at the table, the spoon he would hold would shake, and it would spill onto the tablecloth below, or even some would drool from his mouth. And disgusted by this, his son and daughter-in-law removed him from the family table and placed him in the far corner behind the stove. They gave him a small clay bowl from which he would eat, and often he would look up at the table of the family with tears in his eyes, but to no response. One day it happened that the trembling was so bad the clay bowl fell from his hands and shattered on the floor below. Disgusted by this, the woman went out and bought him a wooden bowl, one she knew would not break, filled it, ever so slightly, with soup, and had him eat from that. A period of time went, and one day the little 4-year-old grandson was sort of sitting on the floor, taking up some of the wood chips. And the mother and the father looked at the grandson and said, "What are you doing?" The grandson looked up and said, "I am preparing a trough out of which you and father shall eat when you get old." The son and the daughter-in-law looked at each other, and they brought the old man back to the family table, sat him down, and from that day forward offered him respect. Children really do listen. Children really do absorb what it is they see. One day a parent came to me and said, "You know, Mr. Willers, every time you tell a story, my child comes home and is able to tell me word for word the story that you shared." I said, "Yeah, children really do listen to the stories we tell. But more importantly, they listen to the values we communicate." I want to thank you for the modeling and the example that you provide to your children every day. I want to thank you for the support and the affection that you show the faculty and staff here at Notre Dame Academy. Together, we will continue not only to tell the stories that we know your children need to hear, but we will do our best to model and exemplify the values that we know are so important to instill in the young people entrusted to our care. Thank you, and have a good week.